is the fact that you have to realize when you're using human beings as the subjects of the research, then they have certain rights, and their rights should be a paramount concern, even above and beyond what you may be trying to do in research. And what has happened in some instances, persons in the healthcare field have been more concerned about trying to obtain whatever their particular goal in doing the research, in finding a cure or finding treatment, that sometimes they forget that the persons they're dealing with have certain rights. So we have situations like what developed in the Tuskegee syphilis study. We have situations which have developed in many institutions, in prisons, and sometimes in mental institutions, where people are vulnerable and people who are selected to participate are in a less position to know what their rights are than if they're dealing with, say, middle-class Americans. Before he introduced the president, he announced at the White House, at the apology, in May of 1997, that he was one of the founders of the Tuskegee Human and Civil Rights Multicultural Center, which, among other things, was to serve as a permanent memorial for those men in that study, so that people could come to Tuskegee, would be able to see what happened to them in the setting where it took place, so that we would be sure that that would never happen again. Now, I made a commitment to those men that if the Lord permitted me to live, we were going to have such a permanent memorial in Tuskegee. They are all dead now, but we have such a permanent memorial there. And we've been able to do it because we've been able to take some persons who was willing to help do the job.
Sure, but Fred Gray was there first. Fred Gray was there. You have to remember Fred Gray was there before, and a long time before I was there. I mean, and what comes to my mind when I think about the bus boycott and his role, I mean, role of Martin King and Rosa Parks is storied, and it is documented in numerous films and documentaries and books, and it's a story that is important to remember. I admire Belmont so much for this program this morning, not because Hank is white and you and I are here, but because he is here. I mean, when you think of what courage and what vision it took to go to court in Montgomery when the town is in absolute upheaval.
Well, I guess the message for the movement was, remember, it started in the church. That's where they met. That's where the boycott found its sustenance. And I think we think the world is not filled with discrimination today. Our society is not filled with discrimination. I guess my answer is, I would say treat social justice, recognize discrimination where it exists, and let the people in the pews know about it.
Make a plan so that you can solve the problem, execute the plan, and it's going to take everybody helping toward doing it. The problems in this nation are so great, they can't all be solved by any one group. It's going to take a lot of help. And we have to start working and let everybody know on an individual basis it's going to take you and not, it's going to take me and not you. And when all the me's get together, we'll be able to help solve these problems.